the day that we're going to go to the shelter for the Watts program and drop off these blessing bags. We've got 40 bags to drop off to the shelter. Here we go.
What?
It's cold.
My butt. I can't feel it. It's cold.
Did you unscrew the thing? Oh, that. Oh, sorry.
Mother.
Mother.
It doesn't.
Is crazy.
Say that again.
Mother
Oh goodness.
is fat. Cheeseburger, cheeseburger, fries, turkey dressing, mashed potatoes. Okay, we're here. Late. Better late than never, right? Mm-hmm. Some of that. Hey, Tia. It's Elizabeth.
Hi, Elizabeth.
Yeah, and this is Rebecca. And both my girls. Good to see you.
Hi, nice to meet you.
It's Rebecca. How are things going?
Good. We got everything set up, and so we're just kind of doing those last minute type things. So we're going to be showing a movie tonight, and so that's what we were doing back there, making sure that all the audio visual stuff is ready to go.
Working.
So yep.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So how many do we have?
35.
35.
Awesome.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
This is Tia, and Tia's are you in charge of this whole thing here?
Yeah, here at What's New, I'm in charge. I'm the lead volunteer here. So
Awesome.
yeah, so
You coordinate everybody?
I do. So Watts is a program. It's actually a nonprofit. It's for your camera people.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's Winchester Area Temporary Thermal Shelter, and so there are about 15 churches or so in the area that all host a week, and they come from church to church so that the area's homeless population has a place to stay during the winter, so they're not out in the cold.
Yeah.
So this is our week. We are hosting this week.
Is
We've
this
got the
the-
35 people,
Cool.
and we have all the volunteers come in every night. We do an intake. We feed them dinner. We have some activity for them. So we're doing a movie tonight. We're tomorrow just doing like board games and things like that. Monday we're doing Monday Night Football, which is always a big thing. We have bingo planned later in the week. We've got some other organizations coming in, and they're going to be doing some life skills and job training and writing resumes and things like that with individuals. I think that's going to be Thursday, I believe. We also have showers back in our bathroom, so we're gonna have shower nights and things like that, so they're able to get those. So
That's interesting that you brought that up because actually Rebecca had a question. She's like, what are the bathrooms like? I mean, is it like you have like maybe 2 bathrooms? Everybody has to share.
yeah, I can show them to you. You want to see them? Yeah.
Okay, let's see where these people get cleaned up at.
They're not clean yet, but
No, that's okay. That's right. We're just kind of curious.
Yeah. Okay, thanks, Josh. I appreciate it. 8 o'clock? Okay. Okay. So here's the women's bathroom, and it's just set up like a. You can come in. Okay. Yep. So we have the 3 stalls and then a shower back here. All right. So you can come in.
Oh,
if you want.
okay.
So shower set up.
This is a nice shower.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yep, and then up there in that dispenser is shampoo and body wash kind of in one.
Oh, okay.
So they can get it out of there and then shower there. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Did you want to see, really?
No, that's right.
Okay.
That's all right. Gotcha. So we've got.
And then the men's bathroom has the same type of setup. It looks
Cool.
the same. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, another question.
Uh-huh.
Do you have men and women, or is it just men?
We do, men and women.
Okay.
So it always varies every year with who we have. This year, the last church was reporting that it was anywhere between 8 to 10 women. We have a capacity of 35, so, you know,
Okay.
there's that breakdown. So.
How does that dynamic work when you have both men and women in the shelter? How does that work in here? I mean, do they
It's
like
all,
separate them at all?
we don't. Yeah, it's
Okay,
all,
I didn't know. I'm
yeah,
just asking.
we don't. Yeah, it's all one big open room, but we have there's an overnight person that stays here overnight, and they stay awake and they kind of observe and watch everything. We keep the women, you know, they're not interdispersed between the men. We keep all the women down at the end, closer. So,
Okay.
so it would be like these two cots here will be women's because they're separated a little bit. The one back here will be a woman's. These four that are separated by the door will be women.
Okay.
Yep, and so that's
Okay.
7. And then depending on if we have, 8 or 9, they will take these beds on the end.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay.
and then our manager who stays overnight stays at this desk right here.
Okay.
So that, all the women are here so that they're able to be,
That's
cool.
cool.
watched and
And
observed.
what about security then? I mean, do you have to like lock up at night and?
We do, yeah. So the doors, once the guests come in, so they get dropped off, they get picked up at their bus location at 7 p.m.
Okay.
And they come here. It's only about 5 minutes. So just after 7 is when they'll show up here.
Oh, at 7. Oh,
Yeah, so they will come in through this door, and that's part of why we have this table here. When they come in, these bins will be up on the table. They have to empty their pockets and all of that onto one of the bins that's on the table.
Oh, wow.
They're
Kind of like
allowed
your
to-
TSA check or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
They're allowed to bring in one plastic bag full of personal items. So
Okay.
whether that be their cell phone or a jacket or snacks or whatever it is that they have, one trash bag, but it has to be emptied into a container. The watch manager will go through it, make sure that they don't have anything that they're not supposed to have. We'll pat them down to make sure they're not hiding anything.
Wow.
Any of their medications, they're not allowed to keep their medications on them because they don't want them to get stolen or anything like that. So there's a lockbox that'll be here as well. So they'll turn in their medications, that all gets locked away. If they need to take it later in the night, they go to the watch manager and he gets it out for them.
Wow. Okay.
Yep, so all that's done. Once they go through the check process, they'll grab their bin, come in here.
That's okay.
We're going to have intake people here that just register them, assign them to a cot, and then they'll take their bucket of things to their assigned cot. So, and they're numbered. I know you can't see it really
Well, you guys know
right
which
now.
one is which, so.
Yeah. Well, we have on the ends, there's numbers on the ends of the beds.
I don't want to be sleeping on 13.
Yeah, there's numbers on the ends of the beds, so we'll say, and they're all in order. So 1 is here, and it goes down to 12, and then back up here. And it goes across. So,
Okay,
yep.
nice. Wow.
Yeah, so that's how it works. So they're assigned a cot, and then they'll go to that cot, and then that's their cot for the week. The way it works is if you have a bed, the first night you're guaranteed that same bed the next night, so that they don't have to, always try to figure out where they're going. So if they get assigned to cot 13, that's their cot the rest of the week.
Okay.
So, yep.
What kind of, I remember talking last year about there are certain rules that they would have to follow, and if they break the rules, they are out. What kind of rules?
Yeah, just
Be nice.
Be nice.
Treat others with respect.
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah, to be considerate of others, to be kind. There's no foul language is allowed.
Oh, wow.
Picking fights with other people, that's not allowed. If they bring in any type of weapon or try to bring in any type of weapon, they're out, and they're out for the season. They're done. So,
Wow.
yeah, it's not even just that night. They're out entirely for that. So, They're pretty stringent, but the reason for that is this is a non-restrictive shelter, which basically means that they don't do background checks or anything like that on individuals that come in.
Okay.
And even when they come in, they don't even have to give their real first name. So, like, there was a gentleman we had 1 year who told us his name was Superman, and that's what we called him all week.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah. So, because a lot of them struggle with some mental health disorders and things like that, and so for him, he felt that the government was after him. That was one of the mental health issues that he was dealing with, and so he had a hard time sharing his name. Because of that,
He thought Big Brother was after him.
He thought that people were coming to get him. Yeah, and
that's sweet.
And so yeah, we called him Superman, and it worked. And so that's kind of the population that we deal with. But we also have people that are just victims of circumstance. We had a married couple last year that had been married for 25 years, I believe, and had their own home, I think, for 15 years or so, and had some medical issues and some health problems, and they weren't able to pay their mortgage and had their house foreclosed on, and it was, they were in their 50s, homeless for the first time ever. And just,
that's really
and so we have situations like that there are a lot of people, they see the homeless population and they think, oh, well, they put themselves in that mess, they drink too much or they make bad choices, they make bad choices. But the majority of the people that we see are just victims of circumstance, that some of them have made poor decisions, but the majority of them are just unfortunate. There was another lady that we had last year who was involved in a domestic violence situation, and she got out of she was in a violent marriage for 12 years.
Wow.
And she got out.
Wow,
and
good for her.
Thank God.
Yeah,
Thank
exactly.
God.
And so, so those are the individuals that we work with and that come, so they're good people. They're wonderful people that just have had bad luck, and
that's
and,
it's not always it's not always irresponsible. People being irresponsible.
Right.
I mean, you said they made bad choices.
Right.
But sometimes, I mean, here in America, we're like one paycheck away from living in your car.
Right.
Even. And
Right.
I have a friend that was telling me that too. Is it's like I'm like one paycheck away from being in my car, and and he's trying to just stay afloat. And he's working 2 jobs, and but man, if you lose one job, you're like, what am I going to do? And if you don't have anywhere to go,
oh man,
you go here.
This
so
is it.
Right, it makes me happy that Dad has a really good job.
Yeah.
And that we're safely grounded.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
To be so thankful, and also it makes you just very aware of how much need there is in the world too. So
Amen.
It's one thing to be thankful and count your blessings for sure. I think we need that, but also to recognize when other people need help as well.
Yeah, doing stuff like this is like a wake up call.
Yeah,
It
absolutely.
just brings you back to like the reality, because not everything is perfect.
Yeah.
Right.
Just because you just because you live in like a happy home with your siblings and your family and your dogs or whatever doesn't mean that everyone else has the same thing.
So if two people came in and they said that they were friends, would you have them sleep next to each other because they wanted to sleep next to each other?
Yeah, if we can. Yeah, if we can make it work. Like I said, when they come in there, it's first come, first serve cot assignment, so they can come in and say, I want cot 23, and that's,
why? What's so special about
right,
cot 23?
yeah,
right?
Why? Yeah. Now, like I said, the women's cots, we kind of pull off to the side, we pull those numbers out. They're basically given an index card with the cot number on it. And so those women's cots will be pulled off to the side. So when the women come in, they'll say, okay, pick from these, 8 or whatever. Nice. So that way they do that. That way they're not intermixed with, the men and things like that. So
you don't have any kind of a list beforehand then of
no,
names, or like if there's a married couple that's coming?
No, not at all.
Right?
Not at all. So the only thing that we're told, so they get to their bus stop, there's a watch person there who does like check in, and right before they leave, they'll call us and say, okay, we have 8 women, or we have 6 women, or we have, so like that's the extent of what we know and what their relationship is.
Oh,
so
sometimes that's all you need to know.
Yep. That's the extent of what we know. So we're like, okay, we have to get 6 women's cots towards the desk, you know.
Oh, cool.
So
okay.
yeah, and we know that these 3 are automatically for women because they are, you know, separated, and then those and then those 4 are kind of separated too. So we try to keep these as women's designations, and then if we have we have those 7, and then if we have more than 7, it'll be, you know, these first few here.
Wow.
So,
Now, you mentioned that they didn't have to have a background check, but what kind of application process do you know of the individuals have to go through to become part of?
Yeah, so so on the first day of watch, they meet at a location. So there's announcements and things like that are made, especially at CCAP in Winchester. A lot of them hang out there. So, you know, they put up posters, I think, months in advance of, you know, start day of watch. Here's when it is. Here's what time you have to be there. And they do a lottery. So if they have more than 35 people, it's just lottery based. And so it's the first 35 people that get it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And so, like I said, it's if you have a bed the previous night, you're guaranteed a bed the next night. And so if they continue to show up on time at the bus stop, then they continue to have a bed for the rest of the winter. There have been occasions where, you know, individuals don't show up on time. So if for any reason one of those first 35 don't show up to the bus stop and there are extra people there trying to get a bed, it's again lottery based. So, yeah.
Wow. So you have to go to that stop and you have to get on that bus.
Yep.
And you have to show up every. Wow.
Yeah.
So what week is this? Is this the first, second week?
This is the 3rd week.
The 3rd week. Okay.
Yep.
So they started a little while ago. Okay.
Yep.
And it goes through
Saturday to Saturday. So they will arrive here at 7 p.m. tonight, and then next Saturday they'll leave at 7 a.m.
Okay.
Yep.
And then they stay overnight. They have breakfast here, or
They
no?
do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So they'll come in at 7. They'll get settled. We have dinner at 7:30. It's very regimented. And a lot of them when they come in, and a lot of them when they come in, I mean, they're just exhausted because they've just been walking around all day. You know, a lot of the local businesses and stuff don't want them just sitting in their restaurant or in the library or whatever. So they're really not able to sit anywhere because people kick them out. You know, even if they're sitting on steps, people say you can't sit there and, you know, move them. So
that makes me think about, I was just, you know, I have coffee with friends and stuff. And I sit there for almost 3 hours. Of course, we're eating and, you know, but
yeah. But I mean, they don't get that. They don't get the ability. You know, they're not offered that time to just sit. And most people, you know, they see them and just kick them out or whatever. So they spend the majority of their day just walking. So when they come here, they're exhausted. And so a lot of them, some of them don't even eat dinner. They just go straight to bed. But the majority of them will have dinner. And then we have activities planned for them if they want, but the majority of them just come in and
they just want to
hit the hay.
Want to sleep. They just want to sleep and lay down. Yes.
So you have do you for your Sunday services do you clean all this up?
We don't. We leave it.
So you have like members come in and they have to like file through all the cots into the auditorium.
So this door, we actually will lock this door, and then they'll come in the side door. And so what they'll do is they'll come down this hallway and then walk down that hallway.
Oh, the back hallway.
That's cool.
Yeah, so all of this will be blocked off. We're actually going to tape it off so that people don't walk through. Because again, this is their home for the week. And you don't want people walking through your home.
That's okay. That's a good point.
Oh, that's so cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we block it off so that people don't.
Here, let's go see what they got set up in the other room.
Yep, and then they'll come down that hallway, they'll walk through here, and then this is our sanctuary. It's also what we're using for dining.
Oh, look at this.
So they'll eat here.
So this is really
They can watch movies up there, right?
Nice.
Last year you said something, at least I thought you did, had some entertainment. Did you have somebody come in?
We had a band come in and did a concert for them.
That's cool.
And we had like talent shows and we did a karaoke night.
That's awesome.
So we do lots of things. We might have a video game tournament up here as well. We've talked about doing that, like a Wii video game tournament.
That's so cool. Mario Kart for the win.
But we also just do, you know, board games and card games and things like that, just to hang out with them and spend time with them. And you know, that's the other thing that, you know, they share with us is that people just don't talk to them, you know, and they walk right by, they're, you know, outside and people just walk right by and completely ignore them. And so just having conversations with people Just having conversations with people about their day and how it was, and getting to know them as a person is just, they don't get that. People just don't talk to them or treat them like people. So.
Well, and
so
we all
it's
want that. So, I mean, I can relate to that. And then how much more for them?
Right.
Are they feeling isolated and alone?
Yeah, so sit down, like you said, with your friends, you go out to dinner and, you sit there for 3 hours and, and that's what we do. We just drink coffee and sit down and talk and just hang out. So
how many people do you have? I saw a volunteer sign-up sheet out there. How many people do you have that will be here,
so
for the week, overnight, daily, what do you need?
Yeah, we have a lot of volunteers. So if everybody just did one job for the entire week.
You have one job.
One job.
We would need 255 people to pull it off. Yeah.
Oh my word.
If everybody just did one job. So
wow.
So we have a lot of volunteers that come in and it's cooking breakfast, serving breakfast, cooking dinner, serving dinner, setting up the area when they come in, doing the intake and the registration, and riding the bus with them to drop them off and to pick them up, and just being friendly and having conversations with them, activity coordinators that play games and those types of things. Yeah. And overnight, we have overnights that have to stay here, in case there's an emergency situation. We had a situation last year where a gentleman was very, very ill. We had to call an ambulance. And our overnight person had to kind of go out and wave down the ambulance so they knew where we were.
Oh, right, yeah.
Right, because we're in
I was like, where did this happen? I just lost,
Yeah, and so, we have overnight, we have 2 overnights that stay every single night, for that type of purpose. If there's a situation or something like that needs some extra attention or extra care. So we also have had lice outbreaks. We've had that in past years. And so our overnight people, are doing lice shampoo, and they're they're treating hair care and those types of things. So not the most glamorous job, but a very rewarding job for sure. To have that, so it's exciting to be a part of, and again, just these people are awesome, and that's if I had something to share with the community about Lot specifically, it would be that they're people.
Yes, they are. Yes, and they're a soul. They are a human soul.
Yeah.
That Jesus sees each one of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And He sees their soul, and like Becca wrote a note. One of her notes inside there was, Jesus loves you no matter what.
Yeah.
And that's true. It's He sees your soul.
Right.
And He just loves your soul.
Yeah, no matter what circumstance you're in,
right?
Jesus loves you, and we love you, and that's what we want them to know.
That's what this is about. Right?
Yeah, that's what it's about. Is we want to meet the need, but more importantly than that, we want to love people, because that's that's what Jesus said. The greatest commandments: love the Lord your God with all your heart, and all your soul, and all your mind, and love your neighbor as yourself. And that's what we're doing. We love God. We got that part down.
Well, and because you do that, because we love God,
right.
Because we love Him, because He loves us, we want to do that with other people. And,
absolutely.
And this is wonderful. This is wonderful. Do you do the people that volunteer, are they from What's New?
Yes, and the majority of them are, but others are just people in the community that see a need and they say, "Hey, I want to help." And so actually we've actually partnered with First Christian Church, and so they're providing the dinner tonight. So they're going to come in, they're sending in a bunch of people, and they're going to do dinner and all of that. Tomorrow night there's a group from Shenandoah University that's coming, and they're going to be providing dinner. Yep, so we have that. So we have community partners as well that jump in and give donations or help out. And we've even had people that have said, I'm in a community, I want to help, but I'm not able to make it, so can you use paper towels? Yeah, please.
Absolutely. Toilet paper, everything.
Right. Yeah, tissues.
Oh, yeah.
So Yeah, and so we just have people that, if they can't give their time, they're able to donate those types of things.
Yep.
Your group doing the hygiene bags is so helpful. And let me just tell you, last year when our guests came in and saw those on the bed, it was the best thing. I mean, they were literally picking them up. One person held it to his chest, and he was like, "Oh, I've been wanting this so long." I think there was a toothbrush. I think it was.
Oh my
I was
goodness!
like, I've needed a toothbrush for so long.
Oh,
I'm
man.
so
Yeah.
excited
Yeah.
that there was a toothbrush in that bag, and
It's the little things we take for granted.
Right. It's just
Yeah.
those types of things, and so. They got all excited. They got excited that they each got their own.
Yeah, right.
Because they're just used to sharing everything, and that type of thing. So they were so excited to have that. So thank you very much for organizing it, putting it together.
Wow.
It's a blessing for sure.
Thank you to our troop. Yes, yes, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you guys have any other questions? I think.
I do.
Yeah.
Do you have like church services for them? Do you have those open for them, or it's just kind of
Oh,
neutral?
that's a tricky one. I think.
Yeah. So we can't like force Jesus on
Oh
anybody.
well,
right?
yeah. Don't do that.
We do offer like a Bible study time or something like that, and they can choose to participate or not.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like up on stage and all of that. It's like back in the corner.
Oh,
like, hey,
yeah.
we're gonna talk about this story in the Bible. If you guys want to come, you can. If you don't have to. But really, the majority of what we do, and again, like if you're a true believer and your heart belongs to Jesus, it's just gonna come out in your natural conversation, and so a lot of it we don't have to be really honest, like intentionally have a Bible out and like, oh, this is what we're gonna
Oh
study.
my goodness.
But it's, hey, let's talk. And as you're telling me about how you've been like walking around all day, man, let me tell you about like how I've been searching my whole life for peace and how I found it through Jesus. And so like,
yeah.
I mean, it just kind of comes naturally in the conversations and the everyday conversations that you have. So that's really the majority of our conversations and things like that. And but yes, certainly we do have studies and things like that we offer that they can participate in.
I was just curious because I'm like, if you didn't have them, I'd be like, oh, it's cool. It's just neutral things to just come in and relax. I would have understood, but I'm just curious.
And this is only our third year doing it. So
I was gonna say, was this only like 2 or 3? I can't
this
remember.
This is our third year doing it. I think it's our second year.
Second year that we've done it. Yeah. And
so
I know we really enjoy doing it, and I think the girls, I'm not sure. Well, our girls are getting older, so it's in the troop. We started out really young, so our troop is now we're getting girls that are
they're actually finding like
7. Yeah, we're starting.
It's like addictive almost now to actually like help because it's just like I don't know. There's like the joy to it, so it becomes like getting addictive.
Yeah,
almost.
Our girls in
like
American
candy.
Heritage Girls, we're basically a service. Base. I mean, we earn the badges, and do all that stuff, but
mainly service though.
But I mean, we are. It's based on service. It's based on giving out to others, and it's very much this way.
Yeah.
And as the girls have started out younger, learning that, now it's starting to just come out. They want to do things. They're starting to want to do that, and that's what we want. We want to reach their heart so that they will want to do. What you're doing someday, but just like I just want to. How can I help you?
Yeah.
How can I help you? And that's showing the love of Christ to everybody they come in contact with.
Right.
So it does.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's a God family community.
Yeah, and even if you just start with walking down the street, and again, I don't know how young your girls are, so it might be a conversation with the parents as well. But even just walking down the street and saying hi to people there, what I mean? So just acknowledging that there's another person, and that's the story that we hear from the individuals that come in here as guests, is that people don't even look at them, and some of it might be that honestly people are just in their phones and they don't pay attention, but they take it as the way that their perception is that because I'm homeless, I'm not even a person. That's kind of
that's how they're viewing themselves, right?
Yeah. So so I guess we can say then be intentional about saying hi to people.
Yes.
Go out for the purpose of recognizing.
Be purposeful, be intentional.
Right.
That's what we're
Right.
that's what we're teaching is
Yeah.
to just live intentionally,
Yeah.
live loved, and that's what we want to show others.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's awesome.
I love this program.
Yeah. I'm glad we're
25.
starting with the girls so young. That's great.
25.